Assessment is not a final snapshot of learning, but something we do constantly during a learning experience. We stay informed as we evaluate and reflect on learning within our classrooms on an ongoing basis. Not only does this provide us with opportunities to improve our programs, but our institutional outcomes as well. Bakersfield College's assessment committee is driven by hardworking students, staff, faculty, and administrators who support the work of strengthening our programs and therefore strengthening our institution. In collaboration with our Accreditation and Institutional Quality Committee, we facilitate the transparency of student learning obtained through the assessment process to improve retention, progression, and academic success of Bakersfield College students. Thanks to the work of our faculty recording the outcomes of student learning within their courses and mapping their outcomes, our Office of Institutional Effectiveness was able to compile preliminary data to analyze our institutional learning outcomes, or what we like to refer to as ILOs. I'd like to give a special thank you to Soo-Yun Kim for all her hard work in leading this effort to provide us with this college-wide data. Let's first take a look at ILO number 1, Think Critically. As you can see from the graph, each column shows the outcome performance from the summer 2018 semester through the spring 2019 semester, while the last column compiles the data for the 18-19 academic year in its entirety. The red bar on the bottom corresponds to the percentage of students who exceeded expectations. The pink bar in the middle of the column corresponds to those students who met expectations. And the gray bar at the top corresponds to students who did not meet expectations. When gauging performance for an ILO, we are looking at the total meets and exceeds expectations percentages. What I want to really highlight is this final column on the right, the overall performance for the academic year, which shows that 83%, yes, that's 83% of our Bakersfield College students are meeting or exceeding expectations in critical thinking. Let's now take a look at ILO number 2, Communicate Effectively. The column on the right, which is the data for the entire year, shows that 82% of students are meeting or exceeding expectations. Let's look at the results for ILO number 3, Demonstrate Competency. The data for the entire year, the last column on the right, shows that 82% of students are meeting or exceeding expectations. And last but not least, ILO number 4, Engage Productively. Once again, the data representing the entire year in the last column shows that 85% of students are meeting or exceeding expectations. These results are just fantastic. It is no surprise that this data shows that your work is making a difference for our students. To complement this important work and even more directly assess our ILOs, the assessment committee formed a sub-team this past year specifically tasked with tracking our institutional progress. Our efforts, though impressive, need your assistance. Psychology professor and assessment committee member Jordan Rood explains this even further within the following video. Please take a look.
Greetings, esteemed colleagues. I'm Jordan Rood, professor of psychology. So I'm here today to tell you about work being done by the ILO assessment sub-team and to ask for your assistance. So The assessment sub-teams made up of assessment committee co-chairs Brent Wilson and Dean Lori Larkin, along with Faith Bradham, Teresa McAllister, Dana Hines-Gelder, Jennifer Grohl, Pam Davis, and myself, plus with the assistance of Soon Young Kim from the Office of Institutional Effectiveness. Well, we've all banded together to undertake the task of assessing Institutional Learning Outcome, or ILO number 4. So the ILO number 4 reads that students will successfully engage productively in all levels of society, interpersonal, community, the state and nation, and the world. Whew. So we're going to try and tackle the community portion of that ILO. And the sub-team spent the spring and fall of 2020 designing a survey to understand more about the level of productive community engagement for students in their lives, ranging from the college campus and off campus in the community. So the survey instrument aims to collect data on the frequency and type of community engagement, ranging from social media use to voting to involvement with the campus clubs or broader community groups. In other words, we want to know how students are getting involved and how often they're getting involved. So with the help of the Office of Institutional Effectiveness, we'll be looking for a general description of overall campus and community engagement, but we're also going to look for patterns in the descriptive data related to demographic information, other institutional data like unit completion, GPA major, and the like. So the sub-team conducted a pilot study late in the previous fall 2020 semester. The pilot study results gave us a chance to receive feedback from students about the survey instrument itself, and that allowed us to make revisions. So although the pilot study had a small sample size, we can confirm that our Bakersfield College students are engaging in the campus with their campus community and outside of the campus in the broader community. And many students indicated that they would like more opportunity for such engagement. With the revisions now in place, the sub-team feels that our survey is now ready and it will be sent out to students via email this spring in the 2021 semester. So we're asking for your assistance. We'd like your help just to encourage your students to complete the survey. We'd really appreciate it if you keep an eye out for the email coming from us concerning the measurement of ILO number 4. Those are the words we want you to pay attention to there. Institutional Learning Outcome number 4, and encourage the students to take the short survey. Hope you all have a great semester. That's all from me for now. We are BC.
Thank you, Jordan, as well as the Assessment Committee sub-team for your time and dedication in ensuring the success of the assessment of our ILOs. As Professor Rood stated, we need your help. We know that faculty play an instrumental role in promoting student outcomes at all levels: course, program, and institution. During Flex Week, our assessment committee representatives, Faith Bradham and Teresa McAllister, will be available on Wednesday to support you in our collective ongoing efforts to continue toward reliable indicators of student learning on our campus. This workshop, titled, "Are We Encouraging Our Students to Be the Change They Wish to See in the World?" will discuss the specific tool that we will be using this semester and answer any questions you may have in connecting with your students in implementing the sub-team's survey. I encourage you to attend and engage in this workshop. Lastly, your assessment committee representatives are willing and available to provide you with their support or to hear about your amazing work with your students throughout the semester. Please do not hesitate to contact us. On behalf of the assessment committee, thank you for all that you do to ensure student learning and success.